Good evening, everyone. How are you? I hope you are all doing great. You are doing practice, you are doing revision. Today, I'm not going to discuss anything, but I have brought some PYQs on world literature with concept clarification. Okay, so stay tuned till the last and do watch. And previous class PDF students are demanding, so I have shared. And if any of you do not know how to join, there is just after subscribe button there is a join button. You can join the channel, and after once you are joining, do not leave. If you are leaving, then the other PDF you can't get. Okay, and that's also not like, what should I say? Let's just start the question. Okay, let's not discuss. Subscribe the channel and share all the students so that they can also get and watch the class. The first question, everybody, very important questions. Which of the following statements are correct? Here, read the statement by yourself now. Do not, like, need to complain. You have to read all the questions very carefully. Statement also, and then go through all the statements and find out which one is correct. Okay. Here is the Find out the following statements, which one are correct or incorrect. So these type of questions is actually tricky, na? And confusing too, because there is only one single word or a single line sentence can make all the questions or answer wrong or right. So correct answer, let's see. Correct answer, you have option A, that is option A, B, and D. Okay, so here Edward Gleason's concept of relation rejects essentialist Caribbean identity. True. Second, B. Derek Walker's Omeros employs, this is very important, fractured epic structure influenced by Homer and Dante. Okay. C is Kamau Bartlett's concept of nation language focuses on French Creole. That is wrong. Why? Because this is not based on French Creole but some other language. Okay, it is not French, but you can say Caribbean Creoles. Okay. Wilson Harris fiction is rooted in Guinea's interior and dream logic. So this makes the option a statement option C incorrect and the remaining option A, B and D correct. Okay. Only. So here Edward Glissant rejects essentialist identity. His Poetics of Relation argues for creolization and opacity, while Derek Walker's Omeros rewrites Homer and Caribbean history. Wilson Harris uses Amerindian myth, dreamtime, and landscape symbolism, while Bartlett's nation language is based on Anglophone Caribbean Creoles, not French. So option C, that's how it is incorrect. Okay, in French is incorrect. Let's see the next question. Now, this question you have to arrange chronologically of all the Nobel Prize winning African writers. African writers, you have to arrange them chronologically. Correct answer. Which one of these writers got the award first? So first one we have option A, B, C, D. Which one is correct? The first Volsoinka, if we find 1986, right? Mahfouz Weekend 1988, Gordimer 1991, and Kids we have 2003. So these are the years. And so as per this year, the first one is 2. So here we can find C and B. Option 2 is mentioned here. Then second is 4. So 4 is only in the option B. Okay. And then we have first and this option B is the correct answer. Option B is the correct answer. Here it is mentioned wrong. Option B is the correct answer. The Nobel Prize here, Volsoinka from Nigeria awarded in the prize 1986, becoming the first African to receive the honor. He was primarily a playwright, though he has written all genres. His most famous play, remember, Death and the King's Horseman 1975. Other major works include the play The Lion and the Jewel 1959 and the novel The Interpreters 1965. Year, Death and the King's Horseman 1975. The Lion and the Jewel 1955, 1959, The Interpreters 1965. So as per chronology, the first one will have The Lion and the Jewel, then this one, and the last one is The Death and the King's Horseman. Okay. Another one, Naguib Mahfouz from the Egypt. In 1988, he got the Nobel Prize, famous for the Cairo trilogy. Remember the Cairo trilogy, okay? Which comprises Palace Walk, Palace of Desire, and Sugar Street. His controversial allegory, Children of Gabelvi, also known as Children of the Alley, is also cited as a pivotal work that ensured his win. Nadine Gordimer from South Africa, 1991, he got the Nobel Prize, known for her exploration of moral and racial issues during the apartheid era, and her most notable works include The Conservationist 1974, which also won the Booker Prize, Burger's Daughter 1979, and July's People, which is very, very important, 1981. Okay. J.F. Gibbs, we have from the South Africa, awarded the prize in 2003, first author to win the Booker Prize twice for Life and Times of Michael 1983, Disgrace 1999, and other highly influenced that include Waiting for the Barbarians 1980 and For 1986. Okay, so remember, we will do only few questions. Next question you have, remember all the important writers' work that is mentioned here, and chronology questions are very important. Statement based too. Now here you have to match the author with the correct work. Okay. Here are the authors and their work. You have to find out the correct work with the author. Match them correctly. These are the Latin American boom writers. Okay, remember. Latin American boom writers and their key works. Correct answer, everyone. Latin American boom writers. You know who are the boom writers? Boom writers who introduced a creative narrative style in world literature. They were, that is why they known as boom writers. It's like a sudden, okay? Their innovative style, the narration, you can say, their innovative introduction of innovative narrative style. That is why they are known as, and all the figures you must remember. The core figures often referred as four grades. So you have to match them, and these are here mentioned. All these four are known as four grades, who introduced and famous for their innovative narrative style. Remember, okay, in world literature, that means they were famous for their innovation that they introduced in the work. Correct answer, it's option A. Oh, did I show you the option? Here, it's option A or B. Let me see. A we can match with 2. Vanilla, hopscotch, and A we can find it for here, here, and the. Yes, we can eliminate all the 2 is the correct. This was I known. So we can match here easily, okay? Remember the name of the writers who are known as four grades. So you can match here now. Julio Cortázar, and the name is Raila Hopscotch here, A with 2, B Barrio Vargas Llosa, you can match with 3, Conversation in the Cathedral, C you can match with first, The Death of Artemio Cruz, and Gabriel Garcia Marquez, you can match The Autumn of the Petrarch. These are the correct matching. These writers known for their innovative narrative style in world literature. That is why they are also known as four greats. Okay. Remember. Here, Vargas Llosa's conversation with Cat is a political novel about Peru. Fates, the death of the Antamin Cruz's foundation, Mexican narrative of memory fragments, and Gracia Marquez, the autumn of the patriotism, dictator novel. Dictator novel traditions. Okay. Let me give you some information about these writers from they belong to. Here, Gabriel Garcia Marquez from Colombia. You can note down 100 Years of Solitude, the very popular work by him. Okay, 100 Years of Solitude. Nobel Prize is won 1982. Okay, then we have Julio Cortázar from Argentina. Argentina, remember the very important 9-year novel Hopscotch, which was mentioned here. Hopscotch. Okay, then Carlos Fuentes we have from the Mexico. Mexico. One second. Mexico we have. And very important, the death of Octavio Cruz, the work which is mentioned here by him, written 1962, and Terra Nostra. Terra Nostra is also important work, 1975. In this work, they have explored the Mexican culture and Mexican lifestyle identity. Another one we have Mario Vargas Llosa from Peru. Okay, remember the time of the hero is the important work. Time of the hero, important work 1962. Okay, and Conversation in the Cathedral, the work which is given here is also by her. Nobel Prize in 2010. Okay, so these are the informations. Remember, let's see the next question. Now, which statement best represents post-colonial feminist thought? Read the statement and get to the correct answer. 5 questions we will do. 5 or let's see how many. Feminist writers. Which statement best represents post-colonial feminist thought? Western feminism, solely representation, polarized man, rejects intersectionality, critics of imperialism. Options you can see. Options now I have mentioned here so that I would not scroll the screen again and again the PDF. Which is the correct answer? This is the question from post-colonial feminism. Do not miss the previous classes, British literature, Australian literature, MCQs practice, check your score, mock test video 2 we have done already. Correct answer is option A and only B. Okay. So A, that means here it argues that Western feminism universalizes women's experiences, and the B is saying it focuses solely on the representation of colonized men. You have to here find out the correct statement that represents post-colonial feminist thought. Only post-colonial perspective. You have to find out the correct answer. Okay. So post-colonial feminism, Chandra Talpade, Mohanty, Gayatri Chakravarti Spivak, Trin T. Minha argues that Western feminism tends to impose its own standards, ignoring race, colonialism, and cultural specifics. So it is only about the post-colonial feminist critics or their perception, okay, not the other one. So you have to think like that. So here it embraces the intersectionality and critics imperialism. So that is why all the options. Remember the Chandra Talpade, Modi, Gayatri Chakravarti, Spivak, Green Tea, Mira are the part of post-colonial feminism. Next question, and the remaining options. Now here you have to identify the correct statement about Naguib Mahfouz's narrative style. From Egypt belong to options. And here are the options also. Which is the correct answer? Narrative style, you have to find out which of these statements are correct. His Cairo trilogy employs social realism with Dickensian lyric. Children of Gabelwai uses allegory based on Abrahamic prophetic tradition. His early works were heavily influenced by French symbolists. His late works show a movement towards surreal, fragmented dream narrative. Correct answer. 15-minute series, 5 questions like this every day till exam we can have, na? What do you think, everyone? Like from all 10 units, na? Okay, let me prepare short videos every day. Apart from the 8 p.m. class. Correct answer is option A. Option A, that is A, B, and D only. The correct statement about Naguib Mahfouz's narrative style from the Egypt. His Cairo trilogy employs a social realism with Dickensian layering. B was Children of Gabelwey uses allegory based on Abrahamic prophetic tradition. And D, his late works show a movement towards surreal fragmented narrative. Okay, so this is the correct. Mahfouz here begins with social realism similar to Balzac or Dickens, not French symbolism. So here, children of Gibbon is symbolic of prophets, Adam, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad. Late works his belong to 1980s to 90s, become fragmented, mystical, and sometimes dreamlike. So here we are talking about the modernism, modern age. Okay, question 6. So question number 6, you have 5 questions we have done yesterday. If you have not watched, go to the description and watch the class. Okay. So question is about Australian and Aboriginal literature. The Australian literature video is already uploaded. You have to here find out the correct statement. Okay. Read the statement and find out the correct statement about the Australian Aboriginal literature, the writers. Everything is mentioned in the PDF, the class. Correct answer, we have option A, that is A, B, and D only. So here Alexis Wright employs magical realism rooted in the indigenous cosmology. B, Sally Morgan's My Place is an autobiographical recovery narrative. And option D, Kim Scott's novels engage Nonigar language revival. Remember, Nonigar language revival. And option D, why it is Udgoro Nonukal's poetry is fundamentally anti-land rights. So that statement is here. Udgoro Nonukal, I have told you what was the name that he has changed was Kath Walker to for the identity. So Australian literature, all the writers majorly write about the Australian beauty, Australian land, apart from the British that they usually used to write, but now discarding the British literature, British themes, British everything, they started writing their own and describing the everything about the Australia literature, culture, their identity crisis, everything. So Odguru Nonukal, which is formerly Kath Walker, is a foundational Aboriginal poet of activism, land rights, and anti-racism. Therefore, the statement C is wrong. Okay, and remaining options, option A, B, and D. You have to find out the about the Aboriginal writers was correct. Next question you have Indian English literature. Arrange these works in chronological order of publication. Here you have Clear Lights of Day, Raja Rao, Kantapura, Without Ghosh, The Shadow Lines, Arundhati Roy, The God of Small Things. As per their year, you have to arrange them correctly. Correct answer. Anita Desai, Clear Light of the Day. Correct answer, everybody. Chronologically order of their publication, you have to arrange them. Okay. So option A is the correct answer here. That is the first one you will have here. Clear Light of 2. Rajarao Kantapura, which was 1938. We have discussed already. Then 1. Clear Light of the Day, 1980. Then we have 4. Amitav, this one. The God of Small Things, 1997. In which year this work has won the Booker Prize, The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy? You can comment. Okay. The Shadow Lines was 1988. So this is the correct publication year of all these works. Okay. Remember the important things about this work. The Shadowline 1988 have won the Sahitya Academy. Sahitya Academy. Okay. And you must remember the Iblis trilogy that starts with the Sea of Poppies, which is by Amitav Ghosh. This is important. The Iblis trilogy 2008. I hope you do remember everything. The God of Small Things. I just asked you the question that in which year this work has won the Booker Prize. 1997 it was published, and the same year Booker Prize it has won. Remember, it is the debut novel by Arundhati Roy. Okay, and character you have Velutha. Anita Desai's Clear Light of the Day. Remember, it's very important work 1980 which was published. 1980. Remember, here the novel is this work is set in Old Delhi. This is what it describes, and this work shows the backdrop of India's partition. Very smoothly, you have to go through the revision part. Okay, and here they describe about the Das siblings. Then we have Kantapura, which is very important work by Raja Rao, 1938. Remember, it is regarded one of the best and major Indian novels in Indian English. Okay, depicts the story, highlights Mahatma Gandhi's non-violent independence movement. Okay, remember everything. Let's see the next question. So remember the Clear Light of the Day, 1988, 1980, Kantapura 1938, Shadow Lines 1988, and God of Small Things 1997. Okay. Next question we have, which of the following accurately represents magical realism in world literature? The question is about magical realism. They will pick one topic and this is how they will give you the question. Magical realism. Who are the writers who is actually associated with this from world literature, Indian literature? You can comment. Correct answer, everyone. With options. I forgot to show you the option. Here is the option, everyone. Which is the correct answer? So correct answer of this question is option A. You can think here. This is the MCQs with concept clarity. So read all the statements and then go deep down. Think what you have practiced, what you have understand. Okay. Option A is the correct answer. A, B, and C about magical realism. So option A, B, and C it accept the supernatural as part of everyday life. Remember the Salman Rushdie's work, Midnight's Children. Okay. It originates in Latin America, painting before literature, and C was Carpenter's concept of L'Oreal Marvelius emphasizes the marvelous in everyday Latin American history. So these three A, B, C, and are the correct options. So magical realism, natural as the supernatural. Carpentier claims Latin America is inherently marvelous, and that is why it is not identical to fantasy, but fantasy creates separate worlds. Okay, so the term first appears in the German visual arts of Franz Roh, remember, and its literary development is in Latin American, the magical realism. See the next question. You have to match the African writers and movement. In-minute series is enough, na? See the options here. African writers with the moment that they actually belong to. Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Chinua Achebe, Nuruddin Farah, Ben Okri. You can match here Ngugi wa Thiong'o, decolonization and decolonization language and Giku language. Remember the word language that they actually belong to that will make you easy to understand. So African here can match with this. So A with second. Then you match Chinua Achebe, the Igbo colonial encounter and cultural crisis. One keyword must remember. We can take him to the Igbo colonial cultural encounter. Okay. Then Nuruddin Farha, you can match C with first reconstruction of post Civil War identity, and Ben Okri, you can take him to the post colonial allegory and magical realism. So A2, B4, C1, option A makes the correct matching. Ngugi wa Thiong'o is a major advocate for African language in literature. His work focuses heavily on the theme of decolonizing language. Remember the Gitu instead of English. He famously chose this language, and very important. Chinua Achebe is a foundational figure in modern African literature, and his seminal novel Things Fall Apart, which is also a trilogy, No Longer at Ease, and The Arrow of God. These three works is important. Things Fall Apart title is taken from the W.B. Yeats work The Second Coming. This work critically examines the impact of British colonialism on traditional Igbo society, dealing explicitly with the Igbo colonial encounter and cultural crisis. Nuruddin Farah is a Somali novelist who often explores the volatile political landscape of his homeland. particularly focusing on the reconstruction of post-civil war identity in Somalia. And Ben Okri is a Nigerian author known for his unique blend of realism and the supernatural. His writing style employs post-colonial allegory and magical realism. Most famously in his Booker Prize winning novel The Famished Road. Okay, very important this work is. This was the question number 9. Let's see one question 2. Short question here is, which of the following statements are correct about the word world dramaturgy? Options. World dramaturgy, you have to find out which statements are correct. Dramaturgy. This is actually a type of PYQ. What is dramaturgy, everyone? Which statement best define? So it's option A, that is A, B, and D only. A, B, and D. Also, Inca's fourth stage, remember, incorporates Yoruba cosmology. B. Yukio Mishima's modern no-place blend classical structure with psychological modernism. And Xingzhan's The Bus Stop employs absurdism influenced by Beckett. Remember the work Waiting for Godot. Okay. So option A, B, and D statements are correct about the world dramaturgy. Fourth stage, Volsoinkas, that is Yoruba cosmology. In Ngugi wa Thiong'o, you just remember the Gikuyu language. And Nigerian author Chinua Achebe related with the Igbo society. Remember, this is type of like keyword you can connect with the writers. So Inca's fourth stage redefines tragic metaphysics. Mishima reconstructed no for modern stage, and Tagore used symbolism extensively. So statement C is incorrect. And Gao Xingzhan Nobel laureate 2000 uses existential absurdism influenced by Beckett. Okay, everybody. So see this question. Okay, here the question is, which of the following best describe Achille Bem's concept of necropolitics as applied to African and post-colonial literature. Options you can see, and here is also A, B, C, and D. The following statements you have to find out which one of them are true. Achille Bem's concept of necropolitics that is applied to African and post-colonial. Just read and think, okay? If you have studied the term. Which one? The power to determine who may live and who must die, a focus on the life affirming energy to post colonial communities, an aesthetic of death words produced by colonial and post colonial regimes, and D, a rejection of biopolitics as irrelevant to Africa. Which one of them statements? A and C only, A, B, C, A, C, D, or A only? Which one? It is a concept by Achille Bims, necropolitics, and the biopolitics is all term also derived from this. Okay, the correct answer is option A and C. The power to determine who may live and who must die. How? This is also known as the politics of death. Politics of death. Remember? And C, an aesthetic of death worlds produced by colonial and post-colonial regimes. So it is actually related to the political term. Okay. So remember, the necropolitics is the use of social and political power to dictate how some people may live and how some must die. The way like ministers decide, and they like decide the fate of the people, that how they are going to live and what circumstances they are going to die. So it is often called the politics of death. This term was first appeared as an essay in 2003, remember, expanded into a book in 2019. The critic here extended Michel Foucault's biopolitics, that is, biopolitics management of life. The meaning of biopolitics management of life. life. So here Bim argues that in colonial and post-colonial spaces, power is exercised through the death, not life. This is what according to him. So here, from this, the core concept you can remember: death worlds, that is social spaces where people are reduced to the status of the living dead. That here you can include slave plantations, occupied territories, or refugee camps. Sovereignty we have that you cannot defined by the law, but by the state's power to declare a state of exception, to kill or let die. And disposable bodies, here certain groups are marked as surplus or enemies, that makes their death politically acceptable. There are many cases happened. We can take example of 2025. There are many mishaps in this year happened. Many cases you can remember how many people die, and people like they start blaming each other, specifically in the political sense. Okay. So this is the term actually going to define that. Now see the next question. Identify the correct statement about the Polish modernist writer Bruno Schulz. Polish modernist writer Bruno. Correct statement. Polish modernist writer Bruno Schulz. The work is mentioned here. Concept is also there. So correct answer, it's option A, B and D. That is his The Street of Crocodile uses surreal imagery grounded in the psychological interiority. B, his style is linked to metaphoric mythization of reality, remember. And D, his fiction anticipates Kafka's narrative detachment. Why? Here, his work, The Street of Crocodile, uses surreal imagery grounded in the psychological interiority. This statement is correct because the stories here blend autobiographical elements from his childhood in Drokovice with dreams like surreal and sequences, okay, in the surreal sequences. So remember the work. His style here is linked to metaphoric, that is mythization of reality. It is a central tenet of Schulz's artistic philosophy, that was the mythicization of reality, where everyday objects and events are transformed into extraordinary, symbolic, or mythical experiences through the power of language and metaphor. So, through the power and the language and metaphor, the experience of the everyday life transforms. That is what mythization of reality here signifies. The D statement was correct because his fiction anticipates Franz Kafka's narrative detachment. So here Schulz's work is frequently compared to Franz Kafka's due to its blend of the mundane and the bizarre. So here you can also the uncanny atmosphere and themes of alienation and metamorphosis. Schulz helped translate Kafka's The Trial into Polish. Okay, so this is how they have been connected, establishing a literary connection. The narrative often has an ironic detachment which adds to its complexity. So here, The Trial into Polish is translated by Schulz. Remember, the other option was that he was the part of Latin America boom movement. That is incorrect. What is movement? The question we have solved already. Bruno Skolz was a Polish Jewish writer who lived from 1890 to 1942, and he was a central figure in Polish interwar modernism. The Latin American boom was a literary movement in the 1960s and 1970s involving the writers like Gabriel Garcia Marquez and Julio Cortázar. Okay, this question we have solved in the previous questions, explanations, if you remember. So this is the boom movement. The Latin American boom is a literary movement. The year, remember, 1960s to 1970s, and the remaining important writers you can remember. Okay. Next question you have here, and for that I'll have to decrease the size that you can get. Which statements accurately represent Edward Gleason's theoretical contributions? Which statement? Option A, B, C, and D. Read the statement very carefully and then get to the right answer. Which statement accurately represents Edward Gleason's theoretical contributions? Edward Gleason's, he was a French writer. Okay, what do you know about him? Accurately represent Edward Gleason's theoretical concepts, contributions in literary canon. Poetics of Relation, Lead Discourse, Anti, Lels Caribbean Discourse, La Nezre. There are a lot of work by him. He was a philosopher too. Correct answer, it's option A, B, and D. Okay, option A, B. A. Opacity resists colonial demands for transparency. B. Relation emphasizes multiplicity and interconnected. So this is very important term by Edward Gleason. In terms of relation, what did he say? That relations in a sensitivity manner, he said that it can be rendered where one unable to participate in non-relational imaginaries. It is, you can simply remember that he said acceptance in relation is of uncertainty, that is in certain way, uncertain way. Okay, this is very popular by him. D was saying that his theory aligns with creolization, not essentialism. Okay, let's get clear here. So opacity here resists demands for transparency. So here he simply argues and famously defends the right to opacity, arguing against the Western colonial demand for transparency, which seeks to categorize, understand, and ultimately dominate the other by reducing them to a fixed, knowable standard. Okay, so here opacity for allows for difference without the need for total comprehension or assimilation. So opacity here simply by Gleason, according to his theory, you have to remember relation. He emphasizes multiplicity and interconnectedness, and according to him, relation. In the terms of poetic relation, he advocates for an understanding of identity that is not fixed in a single origin but is actually dynamically formed through the chaotic, unpredictable interconnectedness and interaction with others in Tout Monde. Okay, that is whole world. Tout Monde, that is a whole world. Okay, remember, his theory aligns with creolization, not essentialism. That is actually correct. Gleason championed the concept of creolization. Remember, a process of unpredictable culture mixing and transformation. So, creolization is also a very important term, and many times this question has appeared in exam. Remember, it is an alternative origin based essentialism. So, essentialist aspects of the negritude movement. His work here explicitly criticizes the longing for pure origins. Okay. The other options was here talking about the pure origin based identity. So here Gleason actively critiqued and rejected the idea of pure origins and root identities, favoring instead of the rhizome and relation. Okay. I hope the point is clear to you. So opacity, relation, creolization are the terms that is actually associated with Edward Gleason. Next question, let's see. Don't miss the class. Now, which of the following correctly connects a psychoanalytic theory to text? Should I put this? Show you the option. Okay. Which of the following correctly connects a psychoanalytic theory to text? Read the statement very carefully and then get to the right options mentioned here. Psychoanalytic theory. Here they are talking about the Lacan mirror stage, which underlines identity fragmentation. Then in J.M. Coetzee, Life and Times of Michel A. Kristeva subjection, fruits uncanny and deluge and Guterres, schizoanalysis. Very important term, mirror stage. You have objection, uncanny, and the schizoanalysis. Correctly correct psychoanalytic theory. So we all this term I have explained in the class. So Lacan's mirror stage, true, okay. And Kristeva's objection resonates with bodily transgression in Hakans, the vegetarian Hakans, the very important writer from Korea who have already won the prize in 2025. C is the Freud's uncanny applies to spectral domestic spaces in Patrick Modiano's work. So A, B, C. Option A is the correct answer. Deleuze and Guattari's schizoanalysis rejects territorialization entirely. That is absolutely incorrect. So here Lacan's mirror, Jacques Lacan's mirror stage underlines identity fragmentation. Here in the work, it's absolutely correct. Lacan's mirror stage describes the moment a child develops a fractured idealized sense of a self. Critics frequently analyze Kit's character, Michael Kay, whose identity is profoundly unstable and fragmented within the harsh political landscape of South Africa, through this Lacanian lens of a perpetually or deferred or failed self image. The way a child sees in mirror and what type of image or mind he creates, that's what the mirror stage according to Jacques Lacan. So here Jacques Lacan's mirror stage theory has been applied to analyze or to criticize the work by J.M. Keats, which is the life and time of Michael K. Okay, and the character here, Michael K. So literary theory is actually the term no, that critics use to lens the other's work. And Kristeva's objection resonates with bodily transgression in Harkak's The Vegetarian. Julia Kristeva's theory of objection deals with that which disturbs identity, system, and order, and it also refers to the boundaries of the bodily self being transgressed. Hakak's novel is a powerful exploration of women's refusal of social norms through her radical bodily transformation. I have shared short notes about Hakak's when she won the prize. Refusing meat, becoming plant like, which perfectly aligns the themes of objection, okay, and self other boundaries. Now, Simon Freud's uncanny term is also very important. Here, Freud defined the uncanny as a type of disturbing strangeness where something familiar becomes eerily unfamiliar or frightening. So, in Patrick Modiano's novel, that is Missing Person, which frequently deal with memory, amnesia, and the spectral haunting spaces of occupied Paris, are often interpreted using the Freudian concept of the uncanny. Okay, so these are the lenses. Remember, and why this was not correct, because it is incorrect. Deleuze and Guattari's Schizo analysis from anti-Oedipus and a thousand Platos is more complex than a simple rejection of territorialization. They analyze three processes and deterritorialization, breaking down fixed structures, deterritorialization, establishing new structures, and decoding. So these are the three processes that they have used, and that is why territorialization is rejected here. Okay, the point is clear. From the very basic, all the classes have been started. You can watch, but not this time. You are already prepared. Just revise, give mock test after test, practice, and trust. Now, in this question, which options correctly pair structuralist ideas with writers? Correctly pair structuralist ideas with writers. See the options A, B, C, and D. And here are the these type of question appear a lot. That's why one statement if matches, if you find the corrector, we are confused that second, third, fourth. We are not sure actually which options correctly pair structuralist ideas with writers. So in the structure, um, what type of ideas is the structuralist writer shared, and you have studied, you have to find out the corrector. Roland Barthes writerly text, Janet's vocalization, Hodros' theory of fantastic, and Levi Strauss' mythic structure. Be very careful while reading the statement. Now, these are the type of questions that you actually need to practice a lot this time. That's why I have added detailed explanation so that. Extremely sorry if you have any felt bad. Actually, I had to take the step because of these type of students. They should not do like this, no? Like trusting, betraying. Okay, everybody, which is the correct answer? The options. What did you find? Questions we have done. Question number 15. This is actually. So Roland Barthes writerly text aligns with Cortázar's hopscotch. We have solved the one questions about hopscotch. Okay. In SZ, Barth distinguish between the readerly text and writerly text. Remember. So this statement is true. B. Janet's vocalization clarifies narrative shifts. Here he shifts in Orhan Pamuk's My Name is Red. So this statement is also true. Now see Todorow's theory of the fantastic explains the ambiguity in Henry James, the turn of the screw. This is also correct. So this type of theory in this work has been used, and whether this is used in the correct way or not, this is actually this type of questions appear to get confused. Levi-Strauss mythic structure deny universal in indigenous. So this statement is indigenous narrative. This is actually wrong. So A, B, and C we can find in the option A here. Okay. So Roland Barthes writerly text hopscotch, which is correct. SZ is very important work. Barthes distinguish between the readerly, that is easy consumption, and the writerly, that is scriptable, which forces the reader to be an active producer of the meaning. And here, Julia Quetzal's hopscotch is famous for its non-linear structure and the table of the instructions that encourages readers to choose their own reading path, making it classic example of a writerly text. So that's why this statement fits here correctly. Janet's vocalization clarifies narrative shift in Orhan Pamuk's My Name is Red. Here, Gerard Janet's concept vocalization, that is narrative point of view perspective, is an effective tool for analyzing Pamuk's novel My Name is Red, which here in this work he uses multiple first person narrators, okay, including objects, animals, corpses, whose shifting perspective create the novel's complex narrative tapestry, which focalization helps to map. So this tool is also fits here. Now, Todorow's theory of the fantastic explains the ambiguity. Here is also correct. So, Sweet and Todorow in the fantastic, a structural approach to a literary genre, argued that the fantastic depends on the hesitation and ambiguity. So here the reader is unsure whether events are real or imagined or supernatural. So here Henry James' novella is a quintessential text for this theory, as the ambiguity surroundings and the governess sanity. Okay. And the Levi-Strauss mythic structure deny universal. This is incorrect. Claude Levi-Strauss structural analysis of myth aimed to discover universal elementary structure of the human mind by comparing myth across different cultures. So here, indigenous narrative and universal, that's where this statement makes it wrong. Indigenous narratives, the raw and the cooked. He used structuralism precisely to find the underlying commonalities, that is universal and in the deep structure. Okay, so he did not deny them. So, writerly, readerly, focalization by the writers and this term. Remember. Let's see the next question. Which of the following statements align with Derridian approaches to reading world poetry? Jacques Derrida's approach. Reading world poetry. Difference, deconstruction, Derrida. Meaning is endlessly differed. Read the statement. There is a detailed explanation in this PDF. I will share this after the class. Okay. Again, revise. How many questions we have done? It's question number 16. I answer, but not everybody. Okay. So don't take such advantage. I do actually care about. Which is the correct one? Meaning is endlessly differed. That is the difference concept by Jacques Derrida. Textual authority is stable in classical Arabic poetry. The binary between center and margin collapses, and post-structural reading foregrounds rhetorical instability. This thing you must be having, like, let's say option A is going to be the correct one, right? Because all the questions answer option A was correct. Yeah, you are right. Option A, A, C, and D. So here meaning is endlessly deferred. The binary between center and margin collapses, and D, post-structural reading foregrounds rhetorical instability. That's how option B, Arabic poetry authority is stable in classical, makes the statement incorrect. So here is everything is added. This is the meaning is endlessly different. The concept is very important and deconstruction how meaning is framed and differ. This is a cornerstone of Derrida's philosophy. Difference signifies that meaning is not present in a single sign but is produced through the chain of differences with other signs. Okay, so constantly being differed and never fully present or fixed. So meaning is not fixed. That is why the differ or difference concept he gave. And what actually difference is defined here in which work? So it is mentioned here. Okay, in the work. So it's cogito et history de la folie, I don't know which language, speech and phenomena 1967, difference, it is an essay 1968. So here scholars identify this paper as the first instance where Derrida introduced the term. Okay, this is the work. Speech and phenomena. Okay, so Derrida here in Speech and Phenomena 1960, Derrida elaborated the concept as part of his engagement with the philosophy of Edmund Husserl, using it to challenge the metaphysics of presence. So he was a French philosopher. So obviously, the French from the French he must have started. Difference, that is an essay 1968. This is the most definitive text for the concept. So it was originally a paper presented to the Society Francais de Philosophy in January 1968 and later collected in the Margins of Philosophy 1972. Then another work that all these works related to the one term, that is a difference. Okay, remember that's why I have brought this. Writing and Difference 1967, it is a collection of essays where Derrida demonstrates how the play of difference and differential revolutionizes our understanding of writing and philosophy. Positions 1971, this collection of interviews contains further elaborations and clarifications of the term difference. Okay. So here the term is in negro neographism. Neographism, the concept actually a deliberate misspelling the French word. That is what actually makes the difference, and it combines two meanings of the French verb differ. So to differ, that is the sparkle meaning is not inherent in a sign but arises from its relationship and distinction from other signs. And to differ, meaning is never fully present in the moment. It is always postponed or deferred through the endless chain of the signifiers. Okay. So this is the whole concept of the term difference by Jacques Derrida. That meaning is not fixed. If something is changing, the meaning will be changed according to that signature or the sign. And all the works is the key works defining the difference term is mentioned here. Shall we go to the next? And remaining options is also here. The binary between center and margin. So here deconstruction aims to destabilize and reverse hierarchical binary oppositions. Okay, so speech writing male female center margin is the concept of binary oppositions. Okay, Derrida here shows that the subordinate term is often the condition of possibility for the dominant term. Post-structural reading of foreground's rhetorical instability. This is actually a deconstructive and post-structural reading approach emphasizes that inherent instability, slipperiness, and contradictions of language and rhetoric within a text, rather than searching for a single stable interpretation or the author's intention. Textual authority is stable, and this statement was wrong. Why? Because here Derridian approach fundamental challenges the notion of a stable fixed textual authority. That means here Derrida uh, by, uh, by taking this difference concept, he challenged that meaning is not fixed. Okay, so stable and fixed, this is what he has argued as per the term concept different. So stable is actually wrong. Shall we see the next question? Now, which statements accurately reflect the Eugenio Barba's theater anthropology applied to global performance? This will we will do the last question 17. Meaning we will do the later. 5 minutes. But we will start this class later with this question. Find out the correct statement. This is from the drama anthropology theory. Which statement accurately reflects Eugenio Barba's theater anthropology applied to global performance? It studies pre-expressive principles shared by world theater traditions. It rejects intercultural performance entirely. It links moment principles across Asian, African, and European forms. And it claims that performer presence precedes cultural coding. Barba, Eugenio Barba's theater anthropology. Next, we will have to mix up the options. First, have we taken this time too? Option A is going to be the correct one. A, C, and D. Option A, it studies pre-expressive principles shared by this pop-up message world theater traditions. Let's continue. Option A, C, and D. C, it links moment principles across Asian, African, and European forms. And D, it claims that performer presence precedes cultural coding. Okay, so Eugene Barbara's theater anthropology, this type of statement he has applied. So Barba's theory focuses on it's Barba, not Barbara. Barba's theory focuses on pre-expressive elements like balance, energy, and rhythm. He supports interculturalism and performer presence precedes culturally specific signs. D. Okay. So this what it actually makes the correct statement. It studies pre-expressive principles shared by world theater traditions. Like this is a core tenet of Barba's work. He defines theater anthropology as the study of pre-expressive scenic behavior that lies at the base of different genres and traditions. And C statement it links moment like other Asian, African, and European forms. So, through the International School of Theatre Anthropology, Barba has collaborated with masters from various global traditions. So, you can here remember. And also, it claims that performer presents precedes cultural coding. Like here, Barba argues that pre-expressive layer of organization in performance is universal and fundamental to creating a decide or alive body on stage. Okay. So, Eugene Barba's theater anthropology is founded on studying the fundamental recurring principles of human behavior in organized performance situations, transcending specific cultural styles. So, that's how all these statements A, C, and D were correct. So, let's say you must take care of yourself for the last moment, do revise, give mock test, and stay tuned. Let's meet in the next class. Thank you so much for joining. Once this class is over, I mean, all the questions, once we solve, I will share the PDF. Tomorrow we will finish these questions. The 5 question I thought to bring, but that was not success. That's why if nothing is going to happen, I'll have to change the plan. Okay, everybody, take care of yourself and bye bye.